Victor here, restoringmercedes.com. This is a quick update for Dave in New York. Okay, David, so here's your car here. It's still on ramps because I have to change that hose. I'll show you in a minute. But the door locks. I don't know if we can see it, so let me lock and unlock the door. So here's obviously unlock. Here's lock. So we're good there. Just wanted to make a few things here real quick. It's kind of cold, but I have to put the panel on. I want to put the panel on. So here is the actuator is back there. So I just took off, you know, the covering up to here, and this is back in its place. So it should be a little bit here and stuff. So you had to unglue it. It's glued after all these years. So that was done. Looks pretty good. The car was sitting here for a few days, so we're gonna start it up real quick because I want to warm it up a little bit. Okay, the ignition coil situation. See, the ignition coil sits in there. This is my temporary coil right now, but if you look closely, you see there is supposed to be a post over there. Okay, right there. On the other side we do have a post, but then the coil, there's a gap there, so it's not against the body very well. As you can see, I can even, come on, focus on me, I can even move the coil. I mean, the coil will not go anywhere. The only thing is, this is sort of like a heat shield over here. This cools the coil. So the old coil, as you can see, there was a little bit of arcing going on over there, like right in this area, right in this spot, because you can see some charcoal marks. So yeah, the coil is not good. So for now, just have the coil sitting here. Like I said, the air pump, smoke pump, I connected back, so now it activates. And next thing, I will be doing the engine mounts and whatnot. So that's that. I'm gonna close this for now because I wanted to warm up a little more. The hoses on the bottom there. Go get my, there's the door panel. Oh yeah, before we go to hoses. So the speaker I glued to the best of my ability. As you can see, the speaker grill no longer available, unfortunately. But looking from this distance already, you can only see missing parts. But the rest, I put pieces back together. I glued them from front and back. So this is okay as long as nobody pushes on it. Everything will be fine. The illumination is replaced. And we also have all clips remain, which is nice. See, everything's in place, which is great. Yes, somebody was there because you can see the different colored clips. Strange kind of situation because nothing seemed to be touched. I don't know why the panel was removed, unless they really did a really nice job re-gluing the whole covering, which I doubt they did. Oh, I also noticed your air pressure is like really high in tires. The like hits 50 psi, which is a lot. I'll deal with that at the very end. Okay, so let's take a look under the car real quick since I'm here. So accumulators, the accumulator balls. Like I said, that hose I managed to save, and then that one is a new pipe right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's nice new shiny pipe right there. That one I couldn't save, it just frozen. It was frozen completely, terribly frozen. Now on this accumulator here, this pipe I tried saving, as you see, it's all banged up, but unfortunately it is still seeping at very edge, right there where my finger pointed. That's bad. This one is good. Don't mind the moisture because it's been leaking a little bit, and I will have to remove it again to get that pipe replaced. This one, thank God I haven't haven't touched. But as you can see, so much rust there. That is bad because you can't make them free. That is our adjustment rod for the suspension height. That works. Now I put a new one from the dealer because that one was like completely that's your rod. Here's your rod. Your rod is done. I did the counted amount of lines here just to make sure it is adjusted exactly to factory where your original was, but yours is, you know, this is like just gone. I mean, you know, no ball joints. There's supposed to be little ball joints in there. They're all gone. Phoebe transmission mount, Vogue, one of the engine mounts. So yeah, we're coming along. Belt is replaced. So let's start the car up. Just warm it up real quick because it's a good test after car set for quite a little bit of time. You can see. And I'm gonna start putting panel back on. There's some little spare parts here, light bolts and screws and whatnot. They're all clean. So the instrument cluster situation we discussed. I'm changing the front glass. I got that piece. So I'm gonna start the car up. Yep, it runs good on 12 because last time I started it only ran on 6 cylinders. Obviously not a good thing. The air pump is making that noise. You also, if you noted, I put check engine light back in. Suspension light is not lit. Suspension switch activates. So we're perfect in this department. Of course, this is cold start, so RPMs are high. Let's just wait for a second when they... Yeah, the cluster was in there really tight, so I removed those little rubber grommets so it could be removed in and out easier later on. Because you see it's chipping at the ends when you start pulling this thing. So here are our RPMs going down. So yeah, we're in working order over here. Engine runs good. Okay, so the ashtray situation, I'll try to do something with them springs because it does not close all the way, so that's not good. AC activates, that's good. But yeah, that's the later thing. The reason why I wanted to remove those rubber pads because once I put this glass in and then the cluster is for some reason needs to be pulled out, so we don't have these situations where you pull the cluster. It was done before me, so but this happened when I was pulling it because it was so tight in there. So no wonder this cracked because the tool slips from behind. Yeah, the RPMs go up and down a little bit because of vacuum leaks we have, but it's not super principal. Once the engine warms up, it gets into the right, it's called closed loop. Right now it's open loop, cold start. Once in closed loop, RPMs are extremely steady. That's that. Let's take a look at the suspension real quick. So right now, as you can see, this is about where it's supposed to sit, the height wise. The car is even. Once it's off the ramps, it's going to be even, but this is the way it's supposed to sit. You're not supposed to have it like up high where like when you had it. So we're okay here. Alright, so I'm gonna cut it quits for now. It's just like I said, a quick update. I just want to start this car, warm it up. I have a couple of customers coming now, but I want to put the panel on so I can move the seat and possibly get it off the ramps so I can have this spot in front of the house before I get the rest of the parts to install in it, so we can finish up with engine mounts and that little suspension pipe that I showed you on this side for that valve to accumulator. Like I said, it's not leaking, gushing out. As you can see, there are no drops on the floor even from it. Okay, but under pressure, you can see it's leaking. So we don't want that. So I'll replace that. Alright, so this is gonna be all. This is Victor at RestoreMercedes.com. Thank you for watching. Alright, David, this is Victor again. So I just want to make this quick addition to the first video I made earlier today. I had this engine mount installed. This is one of them. Now this is the new mount, but this is old stock. But I would totally get this one versus any kind of new mounts that are made nowadays, because this is from the era where they used to be good. So this is basically what I would rather have, and that's what I installed. So this is good. The mount is in place. I put some grease on the bolt, and I put some stop rust, stop corrosion sort of spray all around the bottom bolts. The upper one, yes, I put just grease on it and I tighten it up, not too much, because that gets seized up and it's very, very difficult to get out. Now this is an easy one. The difficult one is completely blown, so that one, I don't know. Well, I'll figure that out, because usually to get that mount out, the exhaust portion has to come out. So I don't know, because you know the exhaust situation in your car there that you have. So we have to, you know, it is what it is. So we'll figure that out. So from under the car, the engine risen. That's a good thing, because the mount went up a little bit, so that's good. Yeah, so that mount is obviously, you can see and shoot the video. So that's where the mount pretty much is, right over there. You can see its shield. So it's nice. This one is down deep in there, so God knows what it is. My car, I took a portion of the exhaust. Well, we'll figure that out later. So this is the mount that I removed. So, and this is the good one. So it's already like messed up, but it's not blown yet. From production date, it appears to be made in 1994. So we see here 1994, and this is the same original mount that I got for you. This is Bogue or Bourget. See right here, it's the name as original, and lasted over 20 years. So same one I put in. Coil, I removed the coil, and we can clearly see now there's a little bit of sort of arcing going on over here. So could be arcing for a while, could be arcing just now, but in any event there's a little kind of area, but it was like not firing up at all. So I got new coil. I have to deal with the stud. I have to deal with the stud because the stud is missing. Here's one stud right there, that one is broken off. So this is just temporary coil. Again, I showed it to you before. So that is that. So that's that. The car is still on ramps. I'm still waiting for the holes in the back. Door panels back in place. And illumination here. See, it illuminates now. Kill the LED. So seat illumination and numbers. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. So basically light up now. The instrument cluster is installed also, so we have no cracks in the glass. Obviously this is the used glass, and this is the best I could find. Well, there are many others, but this one looked good to me, and it is pretty nice. So now no more LEDs for radar detector, so those are gone. Okay, yeah, this was there. I mean, I don't know what happened here. It's probably from before, when they pulled it hard. They basically just scratched it a little bit. That could be touched up if you're interested, but that's from the from pulling the old cluster in and out. Because see, this end is okay, but it's just like a little bit there. But this is already at its edge, so I can't pull it more to cover it. So see, this is basically all that I can. Remember, I removed those rubber pieces, so it can be pulled out easier without damages anymore. But anyway, that can be patched up a little bit. The ashtray Whoopsie daisy, now finally it's working. And I'm waiting for a piece of wood to glue because it's pretty loose. So I want to put the glue on the piece. And also the cigarette lighter was disconnected, so I connected it back, but I had to take all the wood out and radio out to get to it. But that's that. The glove box. Now, glove box was messed up, so I had to fix it because I didn't want it to go worse. It's still kind of like deformed, but you know, at least it's workable now. The pins were missing. The pin was missing here. This one you're never gonna really use. There was a pin missing here, and that one was halfway out, and also this bolt was missing. It was just laying there. So now at least you have normally working glove box. That's fine. The pin was missing on the right there on the mirror cover. The mirror cover is not cracked yet, which is like right here, the starting. So it was good time to do the clip. This one was actually halfway out, and this one is in place okay. So you don't see it coming out. So got that one done too. Because I went to look for radio code, and when I opened this up, I thought it was gonna just fall in my hands. Now, don't mind it opens like this because it's a shock inside that it's supposed to kind of like be slow. There's like a little piece of sort of like a strut in there, just like viscous fluid in there, so it just sort of slows it down. Tokens for New Jersey Turnpike, pretty cool. Came with the car, I guess. So that is that. And yeah, so once I put this piece of wood back, we're going to have normal ashtray. That's great. So I did some good progress today. Again, I put the panel on. Here's how the speaker looks when you look at it. Not too terrible, you know, considering how it was all cracked. So it's pretty good, pretty good. I mean, if you go up close, you still see where broken portions were. You see right there, a line here, and I believe it went all the way down to here, the crack. So that's the best I could do. All the light bulbs are in. This light bulb is in. This one was out, so I put the new bulb in there. That's your high beams. It doesn't come on when you just put ignition on, it's only when you have high beams on. So we have, come on, here. We got all illumination working. Got backlight work. Okay, so we're pretty good in this department. Yep. Just wanted to see how it runs with this right mount. Oh yeah, I have to clear code from SRS because once the cluster was once you remove the cluster, I have ignition on. The SRS module stores code for burnt out bulb, and that's safety concern, so therefore I have to clear it. But it's okay, I'll do it. I mean, obviously. Some, yeah, not a huge change because of the vacuum leaks we have, but the other mount is totally down, so I have to do the other mount and transmission mount for that matter. Yeah, the engine is like rough when it warms up. So, oh yeah, I put some grease on the window regulator down where I could reach it without removing the whole paneling. This rail right over here, a little bit on this rail because I could only reach some little areas when the window is down, just in between the seal. And also in here I put a little bit on the slider that's on the regulator itself. See, I record this just so I remember things myself. These are those rubber pads for the cluster. Nothing done in the back. This is the door pod, the door locking pod, because the door locking pod, you remember, it would just lock but it would not unlock, so now it does unlock. So yeah, I believe we're good to go here in this department. So engine mount on the driver's side to be done, and a pipe in the back, transmission mount in the center, and I'm waiting for the rebuild kit for HVAC valve and spring for the throttle body linkage, and we'll be good to go for now. Alright, so I'll cut it quits. This is all. This is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.